on that pickup.
Welcome back to the channel. We are working on today the truck, and I understand. I've reintroduced the Charger back onto the channel, and it's still getting worked on. Wiring is still happening. They're supposed to be here today and tomorrow, and hopefully within about 72 hours, the Charger's wiring should be done, and then I can deal with the torsion bar not fitting, and then dive back into this car to get this thing ready for duct tape drags. But I only have a couple days left. I don't want to waste the time I do have. So right now what I'm going to work on is the fuel system on the Dodge pickup truck. So I'm having an issue, if you're not familiar, with the fuel cutting out at higher speeds or higher RPMs. And by higher RPMs, I mean like anything above 3,000, it can start to cut. Not really sure why. Fuel filter doesn't seem to have a lot in it at times. The front bowl seems to go dry. It's like it's just not pulling stuff up. And we've drained the tank. We've done all these things. We can't figure out what it is. And I said, screw it. I am just going to prep this thing for eventually maybe a Phi-Tech in the future or a Holly Sniper or whatever I want to put in it. And so I am going to prep this by putting an in-tank fuel pump, EFI system complete, replumb everything. So that is what I'm working on today. And I'm going to show you how simple it is if you do a couple of the mods that I had done previously, like for the Mustang tank and stuff like that. So let's get into it. All my goodies I got for fittings. So hopefully I have some fittings that will work with the tank. It's late, but I've been working on some stuff. The other guys are also here working on wiring, and they're listening to music and a bunch of other stuff. And I don't need the copyright infringement, and I'm also working around them, so I'm working pretty slow. I'm not getting as much done as I would actually hope. But I'll show you what I got. It's not nearly as much. First off, fuel filter. So, let me start under the truck. So I'm building brackets underneath the truck here. And as of right now, I have back left corner here. I have the one already in the front right corner. I'm working on the passenger side. So I have holes here that I need to connect, and I'm building little brackets for. Then the tank will be able to be secured in place that way with at least angle iron. That drop is necessary in order to clear that 4-inch drop is necessary so I can clear the man, this is what exhaustion looks like. Fuel pump and the lines going out to the front of the truck. There's a brace that literally just as soon as it comes up, it hits. So I could either cut the brace or drop the tank. I'm dropping the tank. I don't want to cut the brace unless I have to. So that's what I'm working on right now, is getting all those braces built. I'm going from there. I also have started to fabricate. I got this idea from Joey, which is at James Automotive. This is what he did. It's very similar to his truck, his C10 that he's built. So, bracket. And what I'll do is I will build essentially a tab and then this welded up so I can still remove the hose clamp. And then what he took was, it's kind of hard to see in there, but it's, oh, it's right here. Got some spare gasket making cork. And put that around on the inside so it doesn't vibrate, doesn't shake. And in turn, I can just weld this outer sleeve that I've cut up right to that plate. I can mount that plate to the side, run my AN lines to it. I can have a tab underneath with a through plug on an AN, and I can build essentially like a disconnect area. So if I'm going to drop the tank, I can disconnect it from the filter and the lines and everything just go right with it, rather than me having to go up and try to get things undone from on top of the tank, which is always just a pain. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I don't know how much I'm going to get done tonight. I'll be back out probably tomorrow morning, and we're going to continue working on this as much as we can. Hopefully the wind's not too bad. It's pretty windy. So yeah, that's this will be my bracket that I'll build for that. So yeah, I'm going to keep working for a little bit here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. New day. I was like till about midnight. It's pretty tired. I was starting to make a bunch of mistakes that I hit my quitting point when I start cutting something. I cut it wrong. I'm just not. You're doing dumb mistakes. I take a pause. This was my pause. So I'm back down here right now and getting everything kind of aired up. This shop is a mess. It has been. I'm greatly looking forward to when I'm done and I can just start going back through and cleaning this thing up, because it is. I got parts everywhere. I got Mustang parts now. Now I have Charger parts. Now I have truck parts. This bay's not big enough for that. So I'm going to keep working on the fuel system. I'm optimistic I'll have it done today. So stick with me. I have quite a bit to get done though. So in the back I have fixing the last hanger to drop that tank down. I got to actually find all the hardware I need for it. Then running the lines, I have 4 different AN lines to make. Got to run my sending unit wire, and I have to run my fuel pump wire and wire that in. So, should be done. And I got to build the bracket that's left right now that I started on yesterday. I don't know. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. Stick with me. We'll figure it out. I don't know how old this is, but I found some gloss black engine enamel. Oh, I have it. See if it sprays. Yep, let's get it done.
So, step 1 of troubleshooting. Make sure it's got gas in it. Huh. Nothing but the best, of course. In case you didn't know this, at Circle K, when the ad starts playing, you can usually push that button and it mutes it. For whatever that is worth.
Don't see any fuel. That's a good start. Still sitting at 3 PSI though.
Like 2.5.
That don't do nothing. Okay. Maybe try changing the gauge. Maybe the gauge is bad. Unlikely, but possible.
Possible.
Alright, so it's done. It runs. I'll probably need to do some adjustments on the carburetor. Two things. Number one, try to get a little bit more fuel in that front bowl. It's still just below half. Gonna get it slightly above half. I don't know why. We took the gauge, a little air in it, got it to actually move around a little bit. It actually stuck up a little bit, worked its way back down. But now when we put it on and run it, it goes up to about 6 PSI on the gauge. So you have at least that much. I can't imagine it's really needing a full 9 PSI for fuel, but it's possible, I suppose. But that's kind of where we're at with this. So the truck will continue its phasing here. I'm going to go through and try to button up a couple last things, zip ties underneath, and making sure that I have all the lines ran well, nothing's touching exhaust, and then getting all the tools put away. Going from there. Well, today we are working on the Charger. So I was optimistic that we were going to be able to get this car running, going great, but as of right now, we are still dramatically behind on our timeline. So here's the list of what they're working on. A lot is done on this side, except there's still some problems. Example, wipers, which that's just going to get a bunch of rain next. But when you look inside, they've checked off. Oh yeah, they've checked off like gauge cluster. Yep, that's done. But when you look inside here, it kind of says a different story. So I'm not really sure yet, but we're going to figure that out. What I'm working on right now is giving them a better place to run in the back, the main power wire. So my thought is I would like to keep a resettable link in between the back and where they put the fuse, the main power fuse. So main power fuse currently is set way up there. So we're going to add essentially like a circuit in the rear that we can trip and hopefully fix. So let's see what we can do. This is the trunk. As of right now, we got battery relocated back here. We ended up having to remount it appropriately since it was held on by these screws. This is what was holding the battery tray on. So when we went to take the battery out and we pull on it and the whole battery terminal, like everything pips, it just pulls out the little rivets that this guy did. So that has been fixed. So now we're running, all right, now we're running 4-odd wire from down to a switchable relay. So if it trips, I can come back here and it's not going to burn anything out, but it's a switchable relay. Then I'm going to run another piece of wire up down, and down. That way I can run it to my kill switch, which we have mounted on the back. Progress. So let me walk around here. Ignore that copyright music. So they're making really good progress. Let's see if I can pan this over here. So they're still trying to get interior kind of buttoned up a little bit. So there's still some stuff out here. But I was not expecting them to make this much progress. What's the day this late? I thought they were gonna bounce out a while ago. We are back for one more day here. 2 nights ago was the really late night. I left at 4 a.m. These dudes that were doing the wiring stayed here until, man, I want to say it was probably, I'm sure they were here till at least 5 or 6 in the morning minimum. But according to them, they'd got a lot done off of their checklist. I'm waiting to find out this morning via text that I can actually give 12 volt to the car. What I'm afraid of is that I'm going to do 12 volt power. There's going to be a wire somewhere that's not properly secured, and it's going to ground out to the body and cause an issue. And I don't like fire on cars. So, as of right now, they're claiming that they got a lot of stuff done. Brake lights, fans, terminal, re-terminating the column, all this stuff should be done as per this. So let me give you a quick kind of pan around. There's a couple things that are still loose or they're not terminated. Okay. Like for example, I don't have a horn. So in turn, let me look here. So in turn, the horn wire's out. Like I'm assuming this is for the brick, but I know that that terminal down there and this are different. So I'm going to have to kind of go through and look at some of these items like, okay, well, I'm just going to wind them up and tuck them away somewhere for the moment. But the inside, I'm telling you, it's coming along. It's coming along. All right, so what I'm working on right now is I'm going to run 2-aught, which is 2-0 wire. If you know wiring, 2-aught is, well, bigger than 2 gauge, right? So more zeros, bigger wire. Imagine it that way. So I'm going to go through and replace the body wire that they use to relocate and bring power to the back of the charger to the front. The wire that they used, and I don't mean the new group, I'm talking about the first guy. I'm pretty sure it's actual speaker wire. So here are the 3 wires that I'm dealing with right now. The first one is 2 gauge. This one here. That's the one that's currently ran through the car. I think it came out of speaker, like a relocation for an amp or something of the sort. It's not made for the amount of amps that I have in the vehicle up to the front. I don't think it's going to work. And the more power you put through a cord, and the longer you do it, the hotter it gets. So it might work. But if I'm sitting there cranking on my car because it's not starting, because, you know, life. So I'm gonna throw that in. I'm gonna plumb it up. I have to go from the battery way up here to where the fuse block is, where those guys mounted it, and I get that installed. Actually, I need to go from the fuse block to the cutoff switch. That's at the back of the car now, back here. So that way, when you kill power, you're cutting off the battery. All right, let's try it. Let's see. I gotta do some terminals, do some wiring. Stick with me. So, this is my 1970 Dodge Charger. It is a project of mine that I've been working on for the last about 8 years. It has came a long way. This is an RT by VIN, but when I got it, it was bare bones, stripped down, nothing to this car. And I say we because there was a lot of people involved have helped me try to get this car back to what you see now. It is, starting from the front, obviously a blown 440, has complete QA1 suspension, has long tube headers, stainless steel exhaust, 3-inch stainless steel exhaust. It's a 4-speed, because you have to, right? I have a cage in it. I have level 2 US car tools, level 2 like the stiffening kit. Yeah, a lot. I've missed a lot. Just, yeah. So, in turn, this car has been absolutely frustrating to build. I have a whole story about it. You can look through the YouTubes and you can find every channel and all the struggles I hit on every major bench point. But today is the important one. I get to finally drive this. Now, is it done? No. And I'll explain why. Well, let's talk about what we have and don't have. Okay, so big thing that when I say this car's not done, there's a lot of electrical that's lacking. And by a lot, I mean, well, let's just go through the list. Do I have a wiper? No. Do I have a washer motor? No. What about interior lights, like for the console? No. Underdash lights? No. Dome light? No. Does my parking light indicator work for my e-brake? No. Do any lights work? Yes. Headlights, taillights, brake lights, and turn signals. Those work. We're good. What about the radio? No. AC? No. Heater? No. But, do you know what does work? The 7.2 440 with a roots blower. So let's put some miles on this thing. Myself, so you're not going to see much on the outside of the car right now. At least not till I get someone else to hold a camera for me in another vehicle. But it runs, and that's a good start. And that ended pretty quickly. All right, what happened? Well, to be honest, I'd start driving and it starts backfiring. I was starting to drive, and next thing you know, it was backfiring, popping, anytime I was giving it throttle. And then when I'd come to a stop, let's say I was coming up to a light, it backfired. Honestly, like at this point, I drove it here into the house. I wasn't far from, and I thought, okay, well, it's getting really hot. Maybe I'm low on coolant. Maybe, and for the timing thing, I'll figure out, right? But I couldn't drive it long enough for it to self-learn because it's getting so hot. After maybe 3 to 5 minutes of driving, it's getting like 210 degrees. That's not gonna work, right? So I pulled it in here into the garage at the house just to try to do some very base, okay, what can I look at? It was too hot for me to try to adjust any timing on. It just wasn't charging. The battery kept dying. It's just a whole bunch of issues that are going on with this car right now. So I was in here for a little bit, and then I decided, okay, well, it cooled down. I was able to add some more Evans waterless coolant into it, then limped it back down to the shop where it's at right now, where I'm getting ready for me to head back down and continue working on this thing. Great. Don't look at me. Look at him. Why are you looking at me? Don't look at me. Look at him. Hey, there he goes. Well, charger's back there. That timing didn't do anything that we needed. However, once we pulled it into the big bay over here, that's when we found out that the blower drive on top, that top snout, had a bad ring preventing it from actually being locked in place, and it was freely moving, and I was just losing oil out of the blower. So now we're fixing that before we can diagnose ignition.
It's not really tight. Unless there's another lip, huh?
Well, it's first maiden voyage, actually, to use for the street here, and it's going real well. Well, good news, someone helped me push it from there. We only got it to here because it's heavy. And we got the alternator hooked back up through a belt. Probably from the blower leaking, probably got on the belt and made it slip, so that's fun. Now I'm waiting for a jump pack. Still. It'll get here soon, hopefully. Hopefully. All right, so new day. Race day is tomorrow. I drove the Charger down to get steel valve stems put on, and that went well, other than the fact that the battery was so low I had to keep jumping it. I ended up throwing the Charger on a trickle charger last night, well, this morning, because I'd forgot to plug it in. So now I'm down at the shop and we're just packing up, driving what we need to, and hopefully we can grab everything we need. Sean's running around, he's grabbing some stuff, I'm grabbing some stuff. Hopefully we don't forget anything, sure we will. But I'm just loading everything up in this truck as best I can, because it's free storage in the back. Joey's little long bed. Sweet, let's get loaded up. So Megan found this underneath the truck, which means I can get rid of my super legal plastic bag with a hose clamp. Well, we are here. We have everything roughly set up. Truck on one side, Charger on the other. Obviously, Charger's getting a lot of looks. Understandable. It's a beautiful car. But, yep, still dealing with the fact that, well, at the end of the day, it's untested. Voltage is extremely low. A couple days, or yesterday, 2 days ago, when I was able to drive the car, really for the first time, through that alternator belt. Now, it's low on voltage. I'm going to have to deal with all that, so we'll figure it out. But this year, they did not have a long line. This year, we showed up at about 5:30 in the morning, mainly because we forgot time difference. And no one in line. Sure enough, they let us right in. They had someone there super early, and they ended up, yeah, they just letting people camp the night before, which also took care of a whole bunch of issues. So, yeah, let's continue getting set up. Gotta find a spot for campers and stuff like that, but we're here. I went to go move the Charger right now. I was gonna move it over a little bit, mainly so I can make room and bring the truck, parking next to it. Unfortunately, it's cranking but not starting. So I was like, okay, let's figure out what's going on with this. Timing's been messed up, lots of issues with it. Often caused by lack of RPM signal to the ECU. I guess that's possible. I could take a look. Low voltage. Well, the battery is completely messed up. Or poor wiring. Well, I got about 5.5 months worth of that going on, so we'll see if it actually runs. If not, it might just be Sean in the truck, because that carburetor ain't failing me. This Charger, though, it's trying my nerves. So I'm gonna let it charge off the Jeep for a while. See if I can get that battery to actually take a charge how it's supposed to. Gonna fail tech, I know this. I don't have a fire suit, and it's required. You have a blower, you need a fire suit. So I'm gonna make that determination here in a minute. However fast they determine that I can go will determine if I want to spend a couple $100 to go get a fire suit. So going from there, I don't know. If they only tech me to run 13.5, I don't think it's worth a couple $100 to go do that. But at the same time, if they text me and say, hey, you can run down to 10s, it might be worth it, just see if I can. But we'll see. Requires the cutoff switch to be rewired. So I can work on that. I also know that the battery in this thing is not doing well. So in turn, I'm gonna have to replace this battery. I was hoping that it would be saved, it's not. So I got a to-do list before I can have the opportunity to run this. do know how we did it. And it was okay. We'll be all right. Took us a little tinkering, some shystiness. There and see if we can get him at least recorded. I don't know how many times he's gonna go, but he has a truck. That was, we'll see.
What's that?
Post race, what do you think?
The truck did really good. I needed practice, obviously, being that this is my second pass ever in my life. Probably need a little more practice, but overall I had a blast. Had a lot of fun. I think we did, as of this point, we've done what we came out to do, which was come out, hang out, you know, shoot the breeze with people, run down the track a couple times. Nothing blew up. Everything still will drive on the trailer, same as it got here. So to me, that's a win. Don't mind the red light. We don't worry about that. It says winner. That's what's important.
Alright, well that's the second pass. I will guarantee, I would be willing to bet I have the most expensive 17-second car here. Because that's all I'm getting out of this car right now. So Sean is firing up a laptop to see if we can figure out off of, other than the handheld, maybe what's going on. I'm about ready to throw in a towel on it, to be honest, because I'm not trying to chance it to damage the car just to race it. Like, that's not... but we'll look to see if anything looks real apparent and go from there. But, the moment I put it into coming out into first and I start getting on it, it just bogs down. Hates it. I don't know if maybe it's too fat in fuel, I don't know. But it just doesn't like it. And in turn, yeah, it struggles first and second gear, and then it will grab and it will start to pull hard in third and fourth. But since I lose first and second, damn near dies every time I'm going off. Yeah, it's not worth me damaging anything. So that's where we're at. See? I want to point out it counts. Look at that, huh? Wheelie. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I might not need a pack of nuts. Maybe I just did that trip for nothing. But I did give the kid next to me some maybe a weld. Then I went and bought some. He blew his radiator in the burnout pit with his old police car. That's fine. So, see if I can figure out how or why this unthreaded. Maybe a Loctite. I don't see any Loctite on here, which might have been the problem, but I also have a washer that's stuck at this really weird angle. So I don't really know what to do with that either.
The top car got a little bit of a jump. You hear that thing groaning its way down track with the Cougar? Boom, Crown Vic, 1635, 85 miles.
Well, guys, we made it back. Now, I will say it was not without some hiccups, but at the end of the day, we did make it back. The truck did great. The Charger left some to be desired. However, up until, 3 days before the event, I did not think that Charger was going to be able to actually drive under its own will, because of some of the issues that we're dealing with. We were able to get it good enough to try to run, but not good enough to actually make a decent pass. So we will continue working that and getting this to be a lot better moving forward. Other than that, the truck did real well. I think Sean probably could have got more out of it when he was racing it, but it's okay. It lives on, and it will continue to go to events like this, and I will continue trying to throw budget parts at it, short of the $8,000 transmission, to try to get it to go fast. So, at the event, I think it went pretty well, all things considered. There's always complaints when you go to events like this, but realistically, it went without any big hitches. Yes, there were some delays. Yes, maybe some people got preferential treatment for classes and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's one track. If you're going to expect to run 10, 12 times, find a different event, because it's just not going to happen. Other than that, I will do a massive shout out. Thank you very much for the friends and family of High Rev Nation that came up and continue to give me and the people I was with support, trying to help out how they can and keep these vehicles going and get them fixed. I am greatly appreciative of the work that you guys were doing and the time you guys were taking, even if it's to come and take photos of the cars or talk to me about them or whatever it be. Obviously, I can do this kind of stuff because of people who buy merchandise or buy t-shirts to help support this ongoing hobby of mine, and to maybe one day continue that down the line. So thank you very much. I appreciate the support you guys are giving me, both online and in person. And I guess I'm going to continue working on trying to clean the bay, because I have a lot of catching up to do, and I'm going to figure out what's going on with this Charger soon. But other than that, again, thanks for the awesome event, and I will see you guys next year when I show up, and next episode when I get it posted. So, as always, stick around, keep building.